Taurus, what's good? How are y'all doing today? Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina, and I'm going to be doing a read for you guys today. Let's see what's going on. I know that it hasn't been that long since I did a read for you guys, but it feels like an eternity ago. I don't know. I wonder, is it just me, or does everyone else's days feel like they just shoved a fucking lifetime in one day, or like a fucking lifetime in one conversation, and you're just like, like, okay. Let's see. Because, I feel like you guys have been, having this relationship that you've been either, one that you've been closing out with somebody who's been, really, they're like, I'm so in love with you, da-da-da-da, and you're like, no, sorry, it's just not going to work, or whether you've been, there's been somebody just, in your line of sight, who you are in love with, that you're wanting to move toward. I think it's playing out on both ends of that spectrum for my Taurus energies. So take it how it resonates. You could be on either side of the story. All things are gender neutral. You know this by now. Okay, so we have the empty room, Gnosis, the medallion, the poet, the mentor, and the lover. I'm going to tell this on the end of you guys being the ones who are in love rather than the ones who are dealing with someone who's in love with you or rejecting it. I'm just clausing that because I sincerely do feel like there are a couple ends of the spectrum playing out here. But I'm going to read one format of energy. I want to start with the empty room, because I feel like, Taurus, you guys have just been, I feel like you guys took a second where you were, stepping back and really taking stock of yourself, check an inventory on yourself. And I feel like that's kind of where the empty room is just going back to the last read, and that idea of just hold up, I know my value. I know what I bring to the table. I know, that I want to say a prize, right? You're wait a second, I've been getting the short end of the fucking stick, too long now. I'm not doing it anymore, and really, following your intuition on it, because the fact of the matter is that even though people want to say, oh, I'm just talking shit, or oh, that's just a joke, bro, or whatever they say to get away with their backhanded insults, or their backhanded compliments, because they're just everything they say and do is insulting to you. And I don't know if that plays out in a relationship or if that plays out in a friendship. That felt like a friendship coming through right there. But even still, it could be that this relationship that you've been in, is your significant other is just constantly snipping at you and saying shit to you, and you can't do anything right, and they're just gonna be mean to you, and I don't even know why I'm with you, I feel that's they're just constantly with the nastiness, putting you down. Why would anybody even want you anyways? You know what I mean? I feel like they're just they're being really hateful and spiteful, or they were. That's been something that you've been going through, or it could be that you were the one that was doing that, roles can be reversed, you know, like take it how it resonates. But either way, you know, it's that idea that you really had to pull away and you had to really like sit with yourself and be like, wait a second, I know that person is so full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I know that, like, I almost want to say, like, in the beginning of this relationship, they didn't think they could have me. You know what I mean? And now it's like, and now all of a sudden they think that, you know what I mean? Like, no, excuse me, let's not forget the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, I was the one that like brought it down for you, not vice versa. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like where you're at, of like when you're taking stock and you're taking inventory and you're just like looking at everything and you're like, you know what? I am the motherfucking prize, bitch. Mic drop. You know, and I feel like, in a way, I mean, I kind of wanted to go to the mentor next because and I feel like this came out, and I want to say it was in an Aqua read. I don't know if it was in a Taurus read or not. You guys are starting to like intermingle, but it's like this idea of like there was a point in time where you looked up to that person, or there was a point in time where that person looked up to you. Right? Like, that, again, going back to like in the beginning of this relationship, you looked up to me. You know what I mean? And but like you've done nothing but throw shit for so long that all you see is shit. But just so we're clear, that's your shit, not mine. You know what I mean? like so when you know what I mean? But that's what I get with the mentor. You know, kind of that, it's that Hierophant. You know, like ever the teacher, ever the student. Like you're both just like learning from each other. But you know, like somebody takes the lead in the beginning, and I feel like Taurus, you feel like I took the lead in this, and all you did was fuck it up, and then you want to come at me like I'm the problem. You know, like there's just kind of this, like I feel like a little bit of the poet, you know, raw truth, raw emotion. I feel like everybody's been dancing around everything. That has been a theme for everybody. Everybody wants to dance around to the reality of what's going on. You know, I mean, it's like we can dodge our divorce if we just pretend like everything's hunky-dory, you know, or, you know, like we can maintain this friendship as long as we act like we're cool. You know what I mean? And it became more about the aesthetic of it than like the reality of it. And I feel like the reality is really like what you were pulling away and stepping into, you know, and pulling on, you know, like the emotion of it all and how you felt, because I think you felt discarded. I think you felt unheard and unseen and, you know, like shit on. Honestly, I think, you know, like, I don't know why those birds flying over my head. I'm just like, oh, please don't. No, nobody shit in my vicinity, you know, because birds just be flying and shitting, you know. But I feel like there's this idea of like, they shit on you so much that like you couldn't even, like, the only way you could reconnect with yourself was to just like completely pull away and like follow like the knowing and the intuition and like that you have with yourself, and like pulling back into yourself and remembering why it was that you were the one that was wanted in the beginning, you know. And like, let's just like rewind, rewatch, you know, like director's cut, you know. Like, I feel like that's where you've been watching the director's cut, and you know, the director's cut just gives you a whole new perspective, you know. And the perspective is that you're the prize, is that you're the one that comes with the depth, you're the one that comes with the realness, you're the one who's the fucking leader in it all, you know. And you're the one that's full of love, you know. You're the one, I almost want to say, God, what is that Jimmy Eat World song? Hear it, but I cannot not think of any of the lyrics, but it's like, don't wake me up, now I'm sleeping. But that's not the part of it that I see now that I was the one worth leaving. And I think that, again, it's that, like, that two sides of the coin. Like, for some of my Taurus, I feel like there's a real part of you that looks at this person, like, and I think you were the one who was shitting on them, and I think you were the one who was, you know, like, I do think that you stopped being able to see this person as a prize. I think that you stopped seeing this person. I think you shit on them so hard, all you saw was a pile of shit. And they were like, excuse me, let me wipe my face off real quick. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's that side of the coin. On the other side of that coin, I feel like you were the one who was being shit on, and you were the one who wasn't being seen. You know what I mean? And you're the one who's like, hold on, let me wipe my face off real quick. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? I gotta take care of the truth of this. You know, like, I gotta, because I feel like the idea is like what was being taken care of was a lie. It was imitation art. Oof. That was harsh. Nobody likes imitation art. It's cheap. Goes back to that IKEA. I swear to God, there's something going on there. Knight of Cups. You know, I feel like Taurus, again, you know, to that, like, two sides of the coin, I feel like there's this idea of, you know, for those of you who realize, like, I want to say that you've been shitting on somebody and that you're, like, wanting to move forward, I feel like there's this idea of, like, I'm setting out to, like, make right my wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I see now how, you know, like, I did this person dirty, and how I, you know, like, I lost sight of everything, you know, like, I feel like there's, like, this, but then on the other side of the coin, I feel like there's somebody who's coming to you and saying this to you, you know, like, hey, I'm really sorry, I just want you to know, you know, like, I see the error of my ways, you know, I feel like there's somebody who's coming in and, like, taking accountability for their behavior, or you're going in and taking accountability for your behavior. It's coming through as two different storylines. Same energy, though. It's just, like, roles are reversed entirely. Let's see what else we can get here for Taurus. We got one card. Life Renewed. It's a good card to get of all the cards. We got a bunch of cards. Okay, Life Renewed. Oof, oof. Okay. Life Renewed in the Sun came out together. Ten of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. Six of Swords, King of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. So again, yes, you know, like, back to the same story. That idea of, like, either you pulled away and you figured out your value, or you pulled away and you figured out their value. You know, either way, there's some value being found, you know, like, where there had once been shit, there is now gold, you know, like, and the idea that, like, either you want to go in and you want to take care of that, or somebody recognizing your value and wanting to come in and take care of you. Because somebody cut somebody out. Either you cut them out or they cut you out. But there was an ending. There was, like, a no way in fucking hell did you just throw shit on my face. You know what I mean? Like, watch your face disappear real quick, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if that's you I think for some of you, you're the one who's like going in and being like, no, in this fucking relationship, I was the one who you looked up, like, you looked up to me. You know what I mean? And for others of you, you know, I feel like it's one of those things where you were the one being cut out, you know, like where this person was like, you never saw my value and you treated me like shit. You know what I mean? And like, you're never going to treat me like that again. Like, either way, that's what's happening. But I want to say this end is like a catalyst for a beginning, because of the fact that, I mean, you know, like the Six of Swords is, you know, I mean, like coming out, like being able to breathe after you've like been like crawling through the caverns, you know, and like stepping out into fresh air. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows yet, but it's still like this idea of like, I can breathe. And I feel like part of that is because whenever you guys, I want to say you just get in an argument, like just, you know, straight up, maybe it's an intense conversation, you know, for those of you who don't argue. But it's like, you know, it's, again, it's that idea of some truth being revealed, you know, like a rawness of truth being revealed. And I want to say, you know, like, because you have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles and the Lover. And I do kind of feel like almost, it's almost like this, like cutting away with all the things that were standing in your way. It's like you guys like ice skated over so many conversations, and you used your, you know, it's fucking rhetoric, you know, like argue. If you feel passionate about something, feel passionate about it. And when people are so like curt and they're like, well, we never argue. We might have an intense conversation every now and then, but we don't argue. And it's like all you're doing is burying your emotions. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why shit hits the fan, you know? like goddamn. But but I feel like that's been the way that this relationship has played out for you. It's just been this like, we're gonna placate everybody's, like, we're gonna, you know, like, nobody's raising their voices here, you know, and like we've been friends this whole time and we've always gotten along, or you know what I mean, like however that plays out. Like, I would just like want to smack this person. Their energy is pissing me off. But it's like, but it's that idea that like you haven't been allowed to really like express your emotion or like feel the reality of the situation. You know, and if it hasn't been you, then it's been the other person who hasn't been allowed, because you've been keeping them in place and you've been telling them how they have to behave. You know, like they're not allowed to be upset and they're not allowed to raise their voice and they're not allowed to, you know, like you're just like telling them all the things that they're not allowed to do. And they're like, motherfucker, when did you become my keeper? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck do you think you are to tell me how I can and cannot behave, or what I can and cannot say, or how I can and cannot feel? Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, it's come through both sides, you know, but there's truth revealed and there's movement toward, I think, like a healing, because of the fact that reality was addressed, you know, because when people want to placate everything, nobody ever addresses reality. And you're like, why do you guys think that everything is so terrible and miserable all the time? It's because nobody ever deals with shit. And I think that like in this, like this final like hoorah, there's so much truth revealed that there's like, it feels like a cleansing of a perspective, you know. I feel like you guys are like having a cleansing of a perspective that's really just enabling you to like step up into your, like, the sincerity of the roles I think you had been in all along, you know. You know, and if it's not like a romantic love relationship, you know, it could be that you know, it's like a friend that you've had for, you know, like this person has been your friend for your entire fucking life, you know what I mean? and they mean the world to you, but for whatever reason, you guys like just little things here and there. I feel like maybe you were in a little bit of like a bromance competition, and you know what I mean, like he hooked up with your girl, or you know what I mean, and like, and you did this and you did that, and like, and now we're, you know, like we're at odds. And it's like once you really like duke it out, you know, like then finally you're able to just like move forward. But again, it's that idea of like there's all of this like unspoken placating. Just don't acknowledge reality and everything will be fine until you're like, no, you know, like let's just like fucking deal with this shit. Like you pissed me off when you did that to me, dude. You know, like who the fuck do you think you are? You know, I mean, I feel like however this plays out, whether it's with a friend, with it's a spouse, you know, just a partner, whatever, you know, like I wish there weren't so many different like ways to address a relationship. It feels aggressive. But anyways, Knight of Wands, and I feel like what like the energy here, I mean, you have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, and I do kind of really feel like whatever it is, it's just like on the cusp. I was trying to say precipice and cusp at the same time. It's on the cusp of like occurring. Like either you guys have been in this fight already, or like this fight is like about to like blow up. But either way, it feels like there's this like just like this recognition of what's been going down, and it's changing the scenery, and it's allowing for just like, I want to say, I mean, this just feels like a playful, you know, I mean, the little boy and the little girl, and he's like, come on, we have things to do, and she's like, no, sit down while I rub this flour on your face, dipshit. You know, like but you know, again, like that, like life can be renewed, like it doesn't have to be so dramatic. If everybody was allowed to just acknowledge their own experience in it, you know, I feel like that's like a really big lesson that's coming through here for my Taurus, is like just allow everyone to feel how they feel, allow everyone to be who they are, you know, like nobody's behavior should ever be detrimental. Like at no point in time should there ever be like a feeling from you or anybody that you're dealing with in your life, whichever role this plays out. But at no point in time should anybody ever feel like just who they are isn't to be dealt with, is to be discarded, is to be hidden away, because that's to tell them that that part of them can't be loved. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's very common for people to ask others in their lives to just not be who they are. You know, like that's a little embarrassing, don't you think? Like maybe we should hide that instead of just saying, hey, listen, it's who you are, it's who I am. Like we're people. We are cyclical learners, and we don't always, you know, like even though it may seem like a really obvious concept, like it's not always an obvious concept. You know what I mean? And just like offering each other that forgiveness and that recognition, because I feel like that's what's coming through here, is this idea that like that forgiveness comes with recognition. You know, life is renewed. That's beautiful, Taurus. And either way, whether you're the one who's been the asshole or the other person's the one that's been the asshole, like, thank God that y'all are figuring it out. You know what I mean? That you're just like fighting it out, figuring it out, you know? Because that's what it's about. Learning. Oh shit, I forgot to pull another archetype. Okay. The Vow. Yeah, because I feel like it's this, like, I feel like it's just this person that you've fought with them, you know, like, I feel like they've just been around for a while, and there's just been, like, battle after battle after battle after battle, and, like, in the end, it was kind of one of those things, and again, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, it was one of those situations where you guys stopped talking. you know, like you stopped, like you started holding resentments, silent resentments. Well, I'm going to resent you for that, and I'm going to resent you for this, and then I'm going to like lash out you in this way, and I'm going to lash out at you that way. And it just turned into this really like resentful relationship. And it had like, I want to say like it had like a really beautiful foundation. And then somehow it got like real janky along the way. And it's because of the fact that nobody was ever allowed to talk about it. Everybody was always asked to placate themselves. Don't be that person. And it's like you just reached to a point where you were like, no, listen, I am that person. Or no, listen, you are this person. You know what I mean? Like it played itself out. But it brought you back around again to, you know, a place of commitment because you saw it through. I almost want to say there's just this idea of it, like, but in the end you saw it through. Oh my God, that is so sweet. Okay. I hope this resonates. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will, I don't know.